Hi,
Hello, who are you?
my name's Bo.
Hi, Bo. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
My name is Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
This is weird that we walked into this same room with these microphones set up and sat down and just started talking.
They've been set up since October of last year.
Whoa.
I
That's
think
when we
I've-
started recording this podcast.
Yeah. What is this?
This is Two Tunes Podcast.
What do we do?
Two tunes.
We what?
We tune two podcasts.
We listen to two tunes, and what do we like? Do we theorize? Do we analyze their lyrics?
Extempor.
Do we analyze their
We go
lyrical
off.
quality?
We go off
Do we analyze the music using theory?
sometimes.
Do we talk about the production?
Do we go to say a word and then not remember what it is? Yes.
Totally. Hammered dulcimer.
Hammered.
Hammered.
Yeah. The dulcimer is drawn.
So the reason that I just did all that is because last time we didn't do that until the end. So if you didn't know who we were, hopefully that wasn't your first episode.
Or maybe it was, and you're like, oh, I'll listen to these bozos.
I do have a question for the listeners, and mostly the newer listeners, not
So the seventh person that's listening now?
yeah, but like.
My joke is always six.
Do you listen to ooh, this sounds interesting, and then you go back to one, or do you just
episode
listen
one,
to
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you listen from the episode that's the newest, or do you like I want to listen to that song? Mm-hmm. Because this podcast I believe is more about sharing and discovering new music, versus let me hear what these two idiots have to say about my favorite song.
Yeah.
Because your favorite song is probably not going to be on this list at all. No Tiger King music here.
Meow mix.
Meow mix. Meow, meow, meow.
No.
Meow, meow, meow,
Yeah, so how can people let us know about that, Bo?
Oh, well, they can.
Answer to
There's
the
a plethora of paths that they can take to participate
There are
in
myriad ways.
in our podcast.
A miscellany.
I was using P's.
I have a student that likes to use miscellany.
Miscellany? Is that a
Yeah.
word?
It is. And they must have learned it in English class, and now they use it in every single response that they give about a thing.
Yeah. So, you can email us if that's your bag, at twotunespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And then you
Slide
could
into our DMs
you could go
on
into our DMs
Instagram.
on Instagram. That's really
At
cool
Two
and fun.
Tunes Podcast.
Yeah, you could talk about something, I don't know. And then you could join the Discord if you're like 12 years old. The people in the Discord are not 12 years old.
No.
They're like at least in their 20s.
Yeah.
At least like late 20s, early 30s, almost 40.
Oh.
And one of you is over 40. I know it. You're 41.
Sure.
Going to be 42
Yeah.
in September. Not me.
Cool.
And then, is there a third way? Instagram.
If you know us, you
email.
can just talk to us.
Yeah, you could text Brandon. Here's his number. 717.
I have one of those Hushed. Is it Hushed? It's like an app you can get like a fake number thing.
Yeah.
It's like we've used them like when we go on like school trips or whatever,
Yeah.
and we're like, you need to call a teacher if you're in trouble, but like I don't want you having my real number.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll give that one out. I don't know what it is though.
Like the rejection hotline.
Oh yeah. It was the meme I saw the other day. It was like, if you're gonna give somebody like a fake number, give them your ex's number, so at least like they know that you're out there. Pretty funny.
Hi, is Brandon there? Is this Brandon? No. Brandon Bittner? No. It's my ex. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Interesting.
my first today.
Yeah, you're first.
Dope.
So this is actually Four Tunes podcast, but it'll make sense when we get to my songs,
Oh
plural.
yeah.
It's really one song. In my
It's
opinion.
a three-parter.
It's
yeah.
a three-parter. All right, so introduce
So
your
my tune,
Grows on Trees on the north side.
sure,
It's green.
is
it's fuzzy.
from a group called Moss.
Oh, yeah, that stuff that grows on trees on the north
Yeah.
side.
So Moss is a super group, actually.
Supergroup?
Yeah.
Does anybody know these other people that are in
Yeah,
the
I think in
that world.
in that world for sure. So
What's their genre? Because this album
Well,
says rock, which I don't think it is
That's
at
funny.
all.
not at all.
It's like vocal. Just
Well, the
straight
the,
vocal.
the interesting thing is all of the people in the group would come from the large umbrella of vocal jazz
Okay.
or jazz vocals, however you want to say it. Whenever I say the term vocal jazz, I think vocal jazz group, which some of these people are in, and then jazz vocals like
What
solo
is
singing.
a vocal? You said vocal jazz, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Take away jazz because that kind of it puts you into a headspace. But what is a vocal group?
a group of like
Can you give like specific examples? Not just necessarily jazz, but vocal groups.
so vocal groups, the Temptations,
Okay.
the Four Seasons. I would
All right.
consider them to be vocal groups. Boys to Men,
Okay.
more modern thing.
Well, then wouldn't like In Sync be one of those?
Sort of. I think about a vocal group where more of the singing happens together as the group, and it's about the
Okay.
harmonies you're creating
All right.
with the vocals
Pentatonics.
as the group. Yes,
Okay.
and like yeah, acapella is
The King Singers?
exactly that. Yep,
Okay. Is there like a girl version of that?
of the King Singers.
The what's that? It's a straight up no chaser
Oh, Straight No Chaser. Yeah. Well, acapella is vocal group by
default.
default.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if anybody knows like the Popini sisters or like the Andrews sisters, like that, like again where it's like the voices plural are the main thing that are happening all the time. Like even in NSYNC, it's like
It's more like
Justin's
here's the
song and
It
then
really
these
is.
guys are also there, or JC's song, or like they split the duties or whatever. But like a Boys to Men, especially earlier on, it was a lot more about yeah. It was
That's
more
the best
about
part.
like singing harmony together and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would consider to be a vocal group as opposed to a group that has a bunch of singers. Like I don't think like even like the Jonas Brothers would count as like a vocal group.
No.
Yeah. So so this is a group of 5 singers, and again,
5?
yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 4.
Wait, is it 4?
I think
Why
it's
did
4.
I think it was 5? No, it's totally 5. Yeah. So it's Peter Eldridge and Lauren Kinnan, Theo Bleckman, Luciana Souza, and Kate McGarry. Those are the 5. Peter and Lauren both sing in a group called the New York Voices, which is a vocal jazz group. And Kate and Theo, well, actually, and Luciana, but I was going to say all 5 of them also do their own solo things very much. And they all come, again, they live under that umbrella of like jazz vocalists, but in very different styles. And even like a lot of their solo stuff is more pop aesthetic than jazz. It's more like jazz influenced pop aesthetic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they came together 2008, something like that. I think this album came out in maybe 2007.
I think 2008.
2008. Yeah, actually, no, it was 2008 because I know where I was when I bought this album. I was in Chicago on tour, and
You were on tour?
I was on tour. This when I was going to school in Iowa, and we were in Chicago for our
Is that your ska punk band?
no, our jazz combo and vocal jazz. Well, part of vocal jazz tour, but it was like the instrumental tour that we did in Chicago. And I remember that album came out, and I was like, I gotta find me a Borders. So I used to love Borders and found a Borders and bought this album the day it came out. I was super stoked. So yeah, every track is pretty different. They all kind of came with their own thing, like their different approach and stuff. This one's out there for sure. It comes from the text comes from the poet Rumi.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Rumi.
I am.
And I really like the lyrics a lot. I play this tune for my students in music theory probably like every couple years just to get like the new kids in with it. But and we talk about like a lot of different things with it, but one of them is like lyrical analysis and stuff. And it's like, this is a love song if you didn't realize. And
This
it's
one?
yeah.
Okay.
The lyrics are.
Yeah.
It's actually like really romantic.
Yeah. If
But
you show up, it matters.
yeah.
If not, whatever. Or no. If you come, it doesn't matter. If you don't,
We
it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
which is I thought was weird.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter if you do or don't.
No. It does matter. That's the whole thing.
No, okay. Maybe
We'll listen to the lyrics.
Maybe I heard it.
Let's
wrong.
analyze the lyrics after we hear them. So here is "Orchard" by Moss.
Come to the orchard in spring.
What's that guy's name? That's like really popular. He's got like really great hair. Orchestra guy, who apparently can't sing.
Eric Whitacre.
Eric Whitacre.
Oh,
That chord right there. That's what I think.
okay.
I wasted 6 minutes, 6 seconds of your life.
Sorry.
There is light and wine and sweethearts in the
Ben Monder on guitar.
pomegranate flower.
Turn it down.
Sorry, Ben Monder on guitar.
Come to the orchard.
I love that like the bass comes in, but actually I kind
Peter.
of want it to be thicker. And the swells.
If you do not come.
This is. Can you pause it for a second too?
Yeah.
I like this. I would love to analyze this. Like, I would love to know. My ear's not good enough. It would take me forever to transcribe this. Is what I'm saying. But I would love to like
I think
see
the mix
exactly
is,
what all they're
is
doing.
good enough to.
All the voices are super clear.
If
You just
I-
got to lock on. Like, okay, I'm gonna listen to Kate.
Yeah,
Go.
I
Listen to
would
Peter.
I
Go.
would just
Listen to
do
Theo. Go.
one person at
Yeah,
a time.
yeah.
I would not try to do like chords.
Yeah.
I would do each individual line.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that it is almost like that kind of style of like where like it's all homophonic and moving together and whatever.
Yep.
But each individual line is its own, even if they kind of hang out on one note and then move. And
Yep.
it's really interesting. But it also it's hard to latch on to what the melody is because it's not always the highest voice. At least I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like the opening lick, the opening section sounds more like Theo's voice, which would be like second up from the bottom, is maybe the main point. But then like later on, it sounds maybe like it is the high soprano, and then maybe it is the bass even or whatever. Like it's just interesting to me to.
This type of I'm going to call it a choral thing. It's not about the melody. It's about the chords and the voices, how they interact together,
Yeah.
and the words.
Yeah, the lyrical content
because
for
there's
sure is
not
the-
really a lot of like jumping. It's a lot of the same, like.
It's almost recitative style or recitative. Yeah, where you like d d d d d d d d d d, like then you move on the important
Yeah.
thing and move to the next chord. Kind of thing,
Exactly.
yeah.
So what was the line that they just said?
I don't know.
If you do not come, I think.
You do not come.
If you do not come,
These do not matter.
These do not matter.
If you do come. These do not matter.
Love that chord. Good. So okay. Pause a
so
second.
lyrics is like if you show up,
So they start saying, "I've got all these beautiful things. I got these foods and beverages and all this other stuff. It's this beautiful, gorgeous place. I've got it all set up for our date, basically, because
Okay.
I love you and I really want you to come and hang with me.
in the orchard.
And if you don't come, none of this stuff matters because you're the important part. And that's
Oh,
the
okay.
other thing.
All right.
If you
All
do
right.
come, none of this matters because you're the important part. And I just got goosebumps explaining that because it's such a beautiful sentiment. Like it's super romantic.
That's great. That
And
you
it's
can do
like
that.
if you are that into somebody and you're going to go to this, maybe not necessarily expense, but like I'm going to put all this stuff together for you because I want to show you how much I care about you in this way and whatever. But also, it's not about the things; it's about you. So like all this shit
Okay.
doesn't matter.
I get it.
Regardless. Yeah,
I get it.
it's a beautiful sentiment. You just have a heart of ice. So
No, because like the thing that really sticks out is like if you come, this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you do come, this doesn't matter. Like
you don't come, this doesn't
all of
matter.
that previous stuff, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Remember, 3 listens.
right.
That like, but if you do come, because that part repeats a little bit more often.
Comes back later for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like it's an A B A.
Okay.
Like this is the A part, which comes back at the end, and then there's like the whole middle part.
Oh yeah, the middle part, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna get
So-
into right now. I'd have to go to this. I have this on CD. I'd have to go to it to look at the songwriting credit, but I think this is a Theo song, Theo Blackman.
It doesn't tell me.
It's just got his kind of aesthetic to it, especially this section a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like it was like a big collaboration in general, but like
how much do you think is?
I also
there
feel
are vocals here, but that's not all of the instrumentation.
yeah, because the guitar's in there too.
Like it's ambient,
Yeah,
and I also don't know, and cymbals.
yeah.
I don't know how much is like are there effects on the vocals,
I would almost certainly think so.
and are they
Even if it's just like a bunch of reverb or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're moving them around in the channels.
oh my god. And I don't know if that's like actually, or if it's like a delay.
Right.
That has reverb on it.
Yeah.
So what do you think's happening if this is a visual thing?
I don't know. I've
So it's
often
like
wondered that. I mean,
I've
I've been
said
listening to
this-
this song for 13 years,
Yeah.
and I often sort of wonder again, like, what the thinking is behind this section. Is it ecstasy? Not the drug, or the
No.
drug, but
No.
like, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot. It's this like romantic
Yeah.
thing and whatever, and like,
Yeah, but it could also be religious. So like this could be
and then it's gonna come
I don't
back
know.
into the vocals.
be interesting. And it like this
After some more of this.
this is the long this is half of the song.
Yeah.
It's just this thing. And as you're listening to it, like you're like, what's going on? It'd be really interesting to have somebody's
And then the guitar just brings us
Visual.
back to it.
like some visual
Uh-huh.
to this. Like a music video that actually like what is happening.
You do not come. These do not matter. If you
We listen to a lot of this song.
come, these do not matter.
I come back to this song all the time. I really enjoy it a lot, and the chords and stuff they come up with, and the way their voices work together. It's a cool thing too, because like this is also coming from me as someone who has listened to each of these 5 people as individuals. Like I own albums by each of them and have listened to them. So like,
Were you looking forward to this coming out?
Yeah, this was
Okay.
like a big deal. Again, in like that world.
Yeah.
Because it's like these 5 people are like,
they're coming together.
yeah, it was,
They're making an
yeah.
album.
And then like, so then there's stuff that's on there that's like they cover an gosh, what is it? Neil Young.
Sure. I didn't listen to much of this album.
And then they do like some of their own songs and stuff. Like there's it's
like their individual
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
And
yeah.
They're like, ooh, kind of like the Cody whatever.
Cody Fry.
Yeah.
Oh, like with
that collab
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like it was his song, but I want you guys to do it.
Right, yeah, and that's kind of and they do some of that on here too, which is cool. So
It's really cool.
yeah, it's just a neat thing.
dig
I personally keep like wanting them to do it again, like do another thing. They haven't yet. I think also one of them is not in the group anymore. I think Joe Laurie's in the group now.
Maybe that's why it says there's 4 people.
Maybe. Yeah, I
It
think
looks like it's a quartet, not a quintet.
maybe. No, it's definitely 5 on the album though. But
All the pictures I saw was 4 people.
okay.
So
can you show me the picture and I can tell you which 4 people it is? Because I'm pretty sure that Joe Laurie, who's a fantastic singer, is now in the group. So maybe whoever the 5th one was.
So this is from Peter
Eldridge.
Eldridge. And
Who's
you
like
don't
the
have
sweetest
to-
guy, by the way. He's so amazing. Okay, so Luciana Souza not in the group then, but I'm pretty sure Joe Laurie took her spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then,
Also, so Lauren Kinnan did a music video.
but then even that.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah, I guess
Just
maybe
the
it's
four
just
of
the 4 of them. Lauren Kinnan did a music video for her one song, and she like crowdsourced it, and I'm in it. It's super cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Just people like singing
Vocal
different parts.
supergroup, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah. 4 people, blah 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 blah. I didn't say anything.
Well,
else
when they
there.
recorded that album, it was 5.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So what
Or-
you got, dude?
Well, we're gonna pause for station identification.
And that was a word from Bose Undies.
From Guillermo del Toro pop movies 66. Yeah, so it's my song. It's this artist by the name of Will J.
He looks like the guy who plays Rufio.
Yeah,
Rufy.
he was the
supposed
guy.
to go,
yeah, the
"Oh."
guy who was Rufio was the voice of Zuko, I believe.
Okay, I never watched Atla.
What?
Is it
The Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Cool.
Look, you got it. Yeah,
Look, you don't even know the acronym, Bo. Call yourself a real fan.
yeah, because I don't call it whatever that is. I call it
I see people.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Well, I see people post ATLA all the time, and I was like, "The fudge is Atla?"
No, that's like at the drive-in or something.
No, dude. People. Anyway.
Anyways, so I discovered Will J. 2 years ago. I don't know how. Either iTunes or Apple Music. Like
Yeah.
here's recommendations and
Yeah,
stuff. And the song that I heard from him was "I Can Only Write My Name." So he is. I don't know where he's from. I'm gonna mess this up.
Uh-oh. Should have done some research.
I should have.
When we paused for station identification.
I should have pulled up some Wikipedia. But he was part of a boy group
Okay.
called I Am 5, American boy group.
Oh, I've actually heard of them.
Yeah. He was born in L.A. I don't know. How did he describe himself? Yeah, maybe I'll edit all this crap out. Probably not, because I'm still talking.
Yep.
Is a pop artist on the rise. Sense of humor. Oh, yeah. So, anyways.
Riveting.
Yeah. So, it's about how he's Asian American.
Yeah.
And that song is all about how, like, I want to be like, when you're young, you want to fit in. So it's like, I don't want people to make fun of my accent, so I'm not going to have it. Mm-hmm. And how people who look like me, they're like, oh, is that your cousin? And it's in there. And how he kind of rebelled against, like, I want to be an American. I speak American. I don't want to learn my native language, my grandparents' language.
Yeah.
And all he could do is write his name. But there's a video, and the video is really, really cool too, because he's like writing the lyrics out, and half of them are in English, and the other are in kanji. I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know about this stuff, but not in,
in whatever his native,
whatever
language
his grandparents'
yeah.
native language are. And like at the end, they're like, it's him and his grandparents. I believe his grandparents writing it, but he's like, I can only write my name. I wanted to be that and this and that.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Then he has another song that came up that is on this record. This record's called Perfectionist. Mm-hmm. This is a great album.
When's this from? It's recent?
The album came out in 2020, but I think these singles came out in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, this came out June 18th. But then there's a song. I'm gonna pause that just to get these lyrics up that are loading. It's called By Now, and it's like telling. So that's the 5th song on the album. I think that this is an album. Like you have to listen to front to the beginning to end, because I like just like last week I listened to the last song, and the last song has references to other songs.
Oh, cool.
And it's like, that's so cool to reference. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, then it's an album. So in that By Now, it's like, I don't talk to anyone from high school because I dropped out freshman year, signed a record deal, then made an album no one ever got it. No one's ever going to hear. So it's like I should be somebody by now is like the main sentiment of this. It's like,
Yeah.
I should be famous. Like, why have I not made it?
Yeah.
And then there's a music video for it. And the video is he's like straight to the camera, sitting at a table. It's his birthday. Everybody's like, he's just sitting there and like really depressed looking. There's a video for like everything on this, because nowadays you have to like make a video for every single song you release, which is really good for the consumer, kind of hard on the performer. But he's sitting there and he's just looking sad, and there's a birthday party going on, and some people come up and be like, congratulations, happy birthday. And then like they'll go away and they're like partying in the kitchen, but he's in like the dining room table. Another person comes in, and then like at the end they're like, here's your cake, and they're singing happy birthday, and you can see that they're singing happy birthday, but you don't hear it because he's just singing there. It's like, and he blows out the candle, and he like kind of like fake smile. It's like, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. That look to it. So I'm gonna like run down quick, really, really cool things about this record.
Okay.
So the first one is called Lies. The first song, it's got a really, really cool hook, like that just kicks up right at the beginning. No, that's not it. And you will play. So like that's kind of like lie. That's the chorus. But then like the first stanza is like, I wrote a song about being broke. It started out as a joke. I didn't go to college. What would I know about student loans? Just wanted you all to relate to me. And the whole thing is just like, I write lies. Like nothing I write is real.
Yeah.
And that's the first track on this album. And it's like, that's brave.
Yeah.
But then it kind of like creeps in. It's like, I wrote about lies in this way, and then I wrote lies about this way to like the repeating line is like, I just wanted you to relate to me, and then what's the laster part? It's like, I pay the price and call that. Now that's not it. But it's more about like, I want to feel accepted in like these things, so I'm like writing all these lies to you in different ways. Then the next one is hilarious. Like it's hilarious because it is sung with a like, oh, that's so nice, like that tone.
Yeah.
To the whole thing, it's like, oh, you got a record deal. How does that feel? I wouldn't know. Like in the I wouldn't know. Sorry.
You got a record deal. How does it feel? I wouldn't know. But I'm so happy for you. Feels like I could just explode.
Like, and when there, yet again, there's a music video for this, and the music video is just like, he's like straight face is like, oh, and you can see like the sarcasm in his, and it's so good of that. And then that By Now song about like, I should be somewhere by now. There's another song called Burnout, and this is one that I wish I could have brought up, but it's only like one part is like, that's so cool. So this would be the bridge.
I don't really feel like writing a bridge.
Back into the chorus. It's just
Funny.
like,
That's awesome.
you put it in there instead of just not doing it. You're like, nah, I don't want to murder a bitch.
Yeah.
So like that's really cool. And then the track 10, 11, and 12 are the ones that we're going to be talking about today, which are called Writing a Song Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Yeah. They are all 1 minute exactly. So like that's kind of like that's really interesting that you have 3 songs that are exactly 1 minute. And they kind of go through like different the writing process.
Yeah.
And at first, the second part or the third part I felt was like I've given it out into the world, but as I was listening to it more recently, it's like, oh no, you forgot. You lost it.
The one thing with this, so to me, parts 2 and 3 flow right into each other,
Yes.
but part 1 definitely feels like done,
Yeah.
and then part 2 starts. I almost wish
There's less of a
it was
break.
Yeah, or just like that. It felt more connected. That's like my one slight beef with this thing. Otherwise, I find it really interesting. I think it's cool to do those sort of 3 parts about. And he's essentially like talking to the muse, I guess, if you will. Like,
Yeah. Well, let's
or
get
whatever,
get
yeah.
into it. So, part 1. Going back and forth. Pretty cool. I also think it's really cool.
Staring too long at a blank page.
there you go. There's your thing that we don't know the name of it, where the lyrics affect the production affects the lyrics, whatever, because he's like back in my head or whatever, and it really sounds like, not that he's back there, but it sounds like he's like muffled and behind this thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden it comes out open, like
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Okay. I kind of at first I kind of imagine that as when you first write a song, it's not the best quality.
Okay.
So like the reason it sounds muffled and bad,
Yeah.
I didn't tie that directly, but because you said that, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of really, really cool things with like production.
It reminds me a lot of Victoria Canal
Okay. Yes.
in that,
Yeah.
like really produced, not
Not in a bad way.
and I was just gonna say, not
it's not perfect.
quote unquote overproduced in the way that where it's got too much of a sheen on it. It's just like, no, I've got all these cool tricks and things and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That
put 'em in
relate
here.
to
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah.
No, but I felt that was like, oh, it's bad quality because it's the
yeah.
first
I buy that.
thing that I'm
Yep.
doing. And then, so this whole song is about like getting started writing a song
Mm-hmm.
and like getting those initial sparks and those ideas
Mm-hmm.
and then trying to get it out. But it's hard because like the worst part of writing anything is the blank page. Is like, how do I put anything on that that's worth putting on there? So it's like, back in my head, I feel a dull ache from staring too long at a blank page. And that is the first lyrics,
I just don't have anything to say.
which is a lot of
It's all been done.
all
It's
this.
all
Like,
been
I
done.
don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
It's all been done.
Yeah.
These days I find it hard to even start. Not much is left after I tear it all apart. Everything that I've written so far, not good enough.
I like this is just straight up pop song too. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe I will never feel I got it right.
And the half set drop,
I guess I'll let you decide.
another one.
because you expect it to go back up. That's cool.
And there we kind of come.
Yeah.
Maybe I should try again another time.
Those background harmonies,
Live a life,
so good.
live a life worth writing about. The next idea.
All right, so it's because there's too long. Like
I think that's what it is.
I
It's
really think
too
they're
long
like,
of a gap.
Yeah, I think that they were really like needs to be a minute, exactly a minute. It's got to be spot on because all these are 1 minute. Like it couldn't have been like 98 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, you didn't meet the requirements.
Yeah.
And that's why. But the tempo has to line up, and like so, like either you have silence at the beginning and you shift it back, which is probably what they could have done and
Yeah.
made it a little bit more connected to the second song. And you're right that it doesn't. So
Yeah, it's just, it would if you just had like that drop of space and then it kicks in
yeah.
2 seconds sooner. Like, I don't know.
Or even if they had like just a tone
sure.
going, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
ends. It doesn't like silence, but like a tone just kind of, and then we're into the next song.
Yeah.
So here's the second part of it, called Writing a Song Part 2. And I'm gonna rewind back 1 second to the beginning of the song, so you get the lyrics.
The next idea, my best idea, you always come in a moment when I least expect.
Okay, I have not noticed what is happening here. So I like that it's like the next idea, the best idea. You always come at the most.
Sounds more hopeful already.
Yeah. Like musically, it's like, oh my god, this is the best idea ever. I'm so glad, and like that's what it's about. It's like, ooh, I've got this amazing idea, but like the guitars or whatever instrument, I think it's guitars, is like warbly out of tune.
Oh.
The next idea, my best idea, you always come in the
You hear
moment
that?
when I.
Like, can
Yeah. Ish.
okay, I'm gonna give it a third time. Listen to the guitars, but it's like it drops in pitch.
I wonder if it's just whatever effect they have.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
just
totally
kind of
an
pulls the pitch down
because
a little
you
bit.
can't do that.
Well, no, sure, but like
You can pull it sharp on a guitar. You cannot. Well, I mean, you could have it be sharp and then let go. But
Yeah.
that's harder to do.
The next idea, my best idea, you always come in the moment when I least expect
I
you
hear
to.
it. You get that.
And I find a way to slip away from everyone
So getting lost
just
into
to
the
have
song
15 minutes alone with you.
and then connecting with that song, being like, this
Not
is so good.
something I command or fully understand. When you ask me to
And there's still that like step down thing.
how
So
could I
they're
say
they're
no?
they're
Music
connected
only
still,
we
but like
well, because it's like you're hearing the draft
yeah.
or the draft process of the thing. Yeah.
You sing to me, and I wake up alone. I wake up.
And then we're into the third one, which this
Just like that, you're gone. Never last.
That's
for
cool.
long.
Can you go back to the end of the second one just for
The
a
end of the
second? You
second
can hear the. It's like
yeah, and that's what's
The
going
next
on.
now.
idea, my-
what are you
The
doing?
next idea, my best. Just like that, you're gone. Never last for long.
And now they're talking about like, crap, I lost it. I have no idea where this idea came from.
I do that in the car. I should like have some sort of like shortcut for my Siri. It would be like, Siri, record me singing this thing.
Probably
This
that
idea.
is.
I had a whole big band arrangement in my head yesterday when I was driving home, and it is gone.
Yeah.
It's totally gone.
Just like that, you're gone. Never last for long.
The next idea,
No, wrong song.
just like that, you're gone. Never last for long. Please come back and give me something good tomorrow. Don't make me chase you to the bottom of a bottle. Tell me what's my worth. Separate
Echo
from
there?
Yep.
my work.
Or delay.
What have you done? You leave me here with all this pressure to beat the last song
Yeah.
that I wrote, but will I ever?
And also that's like more rock.
Haven't been happy since you left. It's back to the drawing board again.
So this is really just one song
Yeah.
broken into three parts.
Yeah. And that's why I just wish that it was that between
Yeah,
one
yeah.
and two was just a little bit shorter. Like it makes sense to call them three different tracks, but you could have put it on one or put it, I don't know. Yeah. But again, that's my only beef with it. It's really cool. It's a cool concept.
That's an easy fix
It's
too.
well done.
Maybe they should have had you as a producer.
Yeah. Can you please run everything by me before you release everything?
Everybody. And then the
I have that habit of like, I'll go to, not that I'm always like full of good ideas or whatever, but like, I'll like, somebody asked me to come to a rehearsal or something of a thing I've never seen them do or whatever, like not seen that much, and I'll be like, what's up with that thing? Like, there's just like one random thing that'll catch my eye or catch my ear, and then like, I don't know. I'm thinking of this very specific instance that happened with our indoor drumline a couple of years ago, and I was like, what's with that like one thing? And they were like, oh, and then it like sparked this huge debate.
was it in the music?
No, it was a visual thing.
Oh, okay.
And it just was like, I was like, why is that there? And it would like cause this huge debate or whatever, and then they got rid of it.
I was just asking why
And again,
it was there.
not that I have great ideas all the time, but it's like I get one every now and then,
Yeah.
and it's just like this one little thing and that's all. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt the need to share, but I
And,
did.
and then
It's my podcast, damn it.
it is yours
With you.
Yeah. The last song is called Perfectionist, which is the title track.
Right. You said he references.
And he near
Stuff.
the end he references previous songs. I need to go into it and actually be like, okay, that one's from this song, and it's like line by line.
Okay.
And he like taking the melodies of them, and it's really
Yeah.
cool. And also the very beginning is very much like hide and seek type.
Oh,
Just like that.
No, stop.
you're bad at this today.
That's what I am.
I spent my whole life trying to be perfect.
And also the
Role
reverb.
model to my brother. Pride and joy of my mother. I felt entitled to success because I deserved it.
Like where they like, oh, we're
Yep.
going to build it up, and then we're just going to cut it right
Chop
off.
it up, yeah.
So this is start to finish. You got to
Yeah, I'm intrigued to go back and listen. Yeah.
And before I was like, oh, that's a cool song. That's a cool song. That's a cool song. And then when I listened to the last track, I'm like, oh, it's The Sixth Sense. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it from the beginning again.
Yeah, it's like me with Tenet.
It's-
with
it's
the
all
subtitles on. I just listened to an interview this week with. I mean, it was recorded like 6 years ago, but with Creed Taylor, the
The guy from Creed.
the record producer.
I don't know who that is.
He started Impulse and CTI, and
Okay.
he produced so many people. But they were just talking about albums and how like the album is both gone but also back in a way. Like especially with like the rise of vinyl coming back.
Yeah.
And the one thing they were saying was about, you know, with Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you're using, like on your computer, it's so easy just to skip to the next one, skip to the next one, skip to the next one.
Yeah.
But you put that record on the player,
a little
you're
bit harder.
you're locked in for at least 20 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
less than that.
well, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. If
or
this- so
or
this-
you get up and then you walk over and change the. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that interesting thing, and they were just like,
That's
just
kinda
take some time and just listen. You know, like I don't know.
Well, that's kind of what like. I don't like the skippy thing, right? Like I don't want to do that. If I'm listening to an album,
Yeah.
I will not skip to the next track unless I'm like, I want to find something.
Okay.
Like I'll be like, if I'm searching,
Mm-hmm.
I want something to like grab me and be like, keep me intrigued for the amount of time.
Yeah.
And it depends on the day. Like I could be like going through and it's like, oh, I'm searching for pop punk, right? And then go through and it's like, no, that's not pop punk. No, that's not. It's like, or then it'd be like, I am not searching for pop punk. So like, I don't want like this, whatever it is. I lost my train of thought. Oh, but anyways, this record is 28 minutes total.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
13 songs, 28 minutes. So if you put this on vinyl,
It's like a punk rock record.
it would
dude.
be about 14 minutes per side.
Yeah.
And that, like, when I'm listening, I now remember when I'm listening to records,
Yeah.
I don't want to get up after 14 minutes to do something. I want to be like, no, just keep
That's why you
playing.
get a record changer, like I have.
Does it flip it over?
It does not flip it over though.
Then
So
it's
you
not
you
worth
just
it.
stack like 4 records on top of each
Yeah.
other. And actually, because mine's so old and like out of shape by the 4th one, the RPMs aren't quite there because it's too heavy.
Oh, that's funny.
It always happens. I don't know why. There's a Wolfpack album I have. Is it Thrill of the Arts? I think. For whatever reason, that one always ends up on top, meaning it's going to be the last one played.
So it's always slow.
and it always starts out slow, and I'm like, darn it, why is it? I was like, oh yeah, let me take off these other 3. Anyway,
I got so I've been buying a lot of vinyl, but it's not like I've been buying a lot of vinyl and I have it. I've been pre-ordering a lot of
yeah.
vinyl.
I just pre-ordered a couple things too.
So I ordered, and I've gotten 2 out of the 5. So there's 5 that I've purchased, and I've gotten 2 of them. So Mark Lettieri's
Oh yeah,
the baritone deep
sessions.
volume 2, I have that.
The
That
couple
came.
tracks I've listened to are great.
It's just, I
Yeah.
mean, it's really great. Yesterday came the version of the Million Masks of God by Manchester Orchestra,
Oh okay.
and it was like a book version.
Oh cool.
So it's got the vinyl but it's like a book, and the cover is like crushed velvet.
Ooh.
Then with like a soft piece of plastic as the artwork. So just like the background, anything that's black
Okay.
is that, and then like
Interesting.
and it's like that's like ooh, now it's got cat hair all over it already. Like after like 2 seconds. Then the record came out yesterday. It's Belvedere's new record.
Okay.
They're a pop punk band from Canada.
Okay.
Like really fast, really tight, melodic, but not super political. Like
Yeah. Proper
like that's
comedy.
yeah. And then clipping's already out, but
Yeah.
I'm getting like they did another pressing, and that's coming out in June. And then
Does pressing have a period after it?
dope pressing.
Does clipping have a period after it? What do I feel like
I
it
don't
does?
know. I think it does. I think it's all lowercase with a period.
That's why I think pressing should have a period after.
Okay.
Anyway, dumb joke.
And then
Dumb
We Are the
joke.
Union.
Oh yeah.
I got like if it's either the third or the fourth pressing, that will sell out. Well, actually, the version that I got is sold out. They just have like one. So there's 9 records, 9 different colors of records, and
Okay.
you can only get one right now because
Gotcha.
everything else is sold out.
Yeah.
But like a run is like 300.
Okay.
So it's not like it's a ton. It's like but for a band that size,
Yeah.
as we talked about last week.
I'm waiting on my pre-order. Well, actually, 3 pre-orders. Maybe one of them wasn't pre, but anyway, I'm waiting on Cody Fry's Pictures of Mountains album. Corey Wong and the Wong Notes, that album, that was a pre-order. And actually, I think this one's already shipping, is the Impulse, speaking of Impulse Records, their 60th anniversary box set. So I'm getting that one, should be here like in a couple days.
Cool.
So stoked about that. Yeah. So buy records, folks.
Even if you only like if you support an artist, buy their physical merch from
Them. Yeah, whatever that is. T-shirt, keychain.
Yep.
Heck, buy the lead sheet. That's like a new thing
Yeah.
a lot of people are doing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I buy vinyl and then it just kind of sits on a shelf. But then I actually have it. I like the physicalness of
Yeah.
it, and like I can read the lyrics and like, who produced this?
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
all the people.
The problem with my record player that I have currently, like I said, it's old and whatever, and so like jazz records, fine. Classical records, fine. Rock, pop, most pop, rock, hip hop, it skips too hard, and I'm afraid of damaging the records. So mostly I listen to that stuff. But anyway, thanks for listening, folks.
If you'd like to contact us, I don't know if we said it already.
We
but
did, but
email Two Tunes
Facebook.
Podcast at Gmail, Facebook,
email, other stuff,
Instagram, Two Tunes.
yeah, Discord.
Discord in the description. Everything's into the description.
Anyway.
Leave us a review on iTunes or Apple Music.
Yeah,
'cause
that'd be super helpful.
Apple Podcasts, Apple Podcasts,
The
whatever it
podcast
is.
app.
Because I would love to read your. I want to interact with you guys at home.
Yeah.
I wanna,
Also share, like if you
And
if you
subscribe.
follow us on
Crush that link.
on stuff, especially like Instagram or whatever, just I don't know, share it to your story. Be like, yo, listen to
Yeah,
these
I've been-
bozos talk about stuff.
we've been on Tuesdays when we release the record or the
Tuesday.
when we release the podcast, we post on it. But then what I've been doing is like on Wednesday, I'll release just the song in case you're not listening to the album or the record. I can't talk. Can't listen to the podcast. If you're not listening to the podcast, you could still be like, oh, let me get that song, and then the next day I'll do the next song. And then I've been thinking about doing like a poll of like which song do you like better, and that was a poll.
Is that going to start a fight amongst us?
No, it's not, because I know that you'll vote for like your song and I'll vote for my
Maybe,
song.
maybe.
But like that's still even. But last week only 3 people responded, and it was one you, one me, and then a third person.
Which one do they pick?
They picked my song.
Well,
I
that's-
don't know what it was a while ago.
It's probably your wife.
No, it wasn't. She doesn't follow us. She doesn't listen to this stuff. Anyways, we'll
Cool.
see you next week, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.